Welcome to another insightful episode right here on Beyond the Bricks on Eastern Showcase. My name is Augustina Augustine, and my co host here is.
VJ Fresh. You know what time it is already. The inimitable. Okay, you know what time it is already now.
Of course, I
Let's
do.
hit it already.
Today's conversation, of course, dives into one of the world's most powerful industries, an industry that doesn't just move people, it moves economies, shape cultures, and also transform communities. And our guest is someone who doesn't just walk tourism, he lives, breathes, and also does the work. He is a true insider, an industry storyteller, also the president of Beach Harcourt Club, Walter Abere.
Whenever I do that, I always say, make some noise, but we can't make all the noise right now because the audience are out there. Come
Of
on, make some noise
course.
before you already
I know they feel it right there.
Yeah,
We
no
have
doubt.
Mr. Walter Abere on our show today. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me as well.
Let me, just take us back to the very beginning. Why tourism? One of the very few things you find most people do. Why tourism?
I'm Christian. I say that Christian. We like.
You said why tourism.
Of course.
Normally, my answer would be very direct. And my answer would be why not tourism?
A man of diplomacy.
So, why tourism? Tourism, it has to be tourism because tourism is natural. Tourism has been in existence as long as man has been in existence.
Okay.
So you could imagine way back in the days, long before cars, long before tourism as we know it. Imagine the local communities where somebody could say, there's a tree in this community. If you cut this tree, it will spill blood. You see a lot of people flock to that community. That's tourism. As easy as that, as simple as that. So tourism is anything that would bring people to a particular location for that purpose. That's tourism. So tourism has always been with us, and it's inside us as well.
I like that approach to it. Presh, have you heard that myth that if you cut a particular tree, blood will flow?
Here I'm small, but I don't get it.
As one of the people who actually went to a boarding house,
yeah.
those were one of the tales that we were told.
Okay.
Yes, that if you cut down a certain tree,
Blood
you know,
will flow.
exactly.
One of our tripod.
Hey.
See the blood, I think. Okay, so Mr. Walter.
Yeah.
Yes, this is more like giving us an incisive analysis on what the movement is about.
Okay.
Right? You have not just insisted on making tourism what it's supposed to be in Livingston. You have made it a household name. Say if you don't want to hear and you go hear and first. That was your last speech.
Of course.
Say number 5 at first. Yes, you must accept it. Yes. So what has kept you going? What's that thing that what's make you believe say tourism go on for the State?
Well, first of all, we have the environment, which is the number one factor. For me as a person, I hate wastage. So why should we waste our environment? And we have the people. We're very accommodating, and I think one of the major factors as well is, being from Port Harcourt or being from River State, when you're out there, you're great, but not so great. So for instance, everybody knows Port Harcourt. We're like the third major city in Nigeria. And when they see, they're fascinated, Port Harcourt boy, then after a while, it's a bit negative. It goes towards militancy and it goes towards politics. Do you understand me? Which kind of now, dampens that whole hype about us. So I just feel, we can change that narrative. With the Harcourt Club, we do most of our events at the waterfronts. And the only one we haven't done as a waterfront was the one with the jungle party in the Port Harcourt Zoo. And we did that to bring attention to the zoo. So the government would realize that, look, we have something that is failing.
So let me consider. Are you trying to say that wherever you pitch an event, you're trying to drag attention from
To
that area?
Exactly. So we're dragging attention to that area, not just the government, investors as well, to let them know, like, this is what we have out here. And most of these places we go to, in quote, are dangerous. So most of the waterfronts in the Niger Delta are seen as dangerous. But what we've done now is to change that narrative. We go into the community, we engage the community, let them know the benefits of tourism and what tourism is. Because for a very long time, in Nigeria generally, we just feel tourism is masquerades. You have women that will come and dance, traditional dance. to us, that is tourism. And it has been that way. So you go to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, you both federal ministry and what's it called, the state ministries. That's all it is. Do you understand me? So we want to change that. The culture is just one part of tourism. Tourism covers everywhere. Every sector has tourism inside. Tell me something. Sports. You know there's tourism in sports. You know that.
Yes, I do.
Now tell me one sector that you feel tourism doesn't apply. Any of you, let's see how we can draw them together.
Well, I think as you said, I don't know if VJ Precious able to think of
just think of just one, anything. Religion?
There's tourism in there because people travel from a country to another for certain worship. You know, I mean, in Islam, you see people travel to
Mecca.
Yes, exactly. So there's tourism everywhere, like you said.
Even internally. Do you know that tourism is so great that you can even say there's bereavement tourism?
Bereavement tourism.
Yes,
You travel
because in Nigeria, the number one reason or two reasons why people travel to locations they've not been to before is for traditional marriages and burials.
Yeah.
So somebody will tell you, I'm going to Enugu, you haven't been there before. Why? My man, father died. Do you understand me? So that's tourism. People go to a community, you see the hotels are shut down. Do you understand me? You rent canopies, you rent, you know, it's endless.
I mean, let me come in there. There are some very fine rivers tourism activities that we have. I've been to Opobo I know that Opobo has the boat regalia. Is it Regatta also? Yes, Regatta. Every December period, people travel to Opobo. And as you talked about this hotel being booked, it's a serious thing in Opobo, to be precise. And then, of course, recently you had an event in Andoni. You know, you brought people to the beach, Ikoro Town, to be precise. Now, these are tourism attractions or activities that are happening in the state. And now you said you're moving into communities to sensitize people that it's not negative. But how do we now put this message across the people who are not? I mean, social media is doing its thing, which I give it to you. I followed your page. I've seen what Beach Harcourt is doing. So social media is doing its thing. But how do we now send the message across? You mentioned politics. I mean, if you hear the voice, you know that this is, you know who I'm talking about. An ex-governor in River State, to be precise. Now, many people have different mindset about River State, rivers precisely. In my boarding school, when they see me and they say, I be Port Harcourt girl, there's this space because immediately they think, say, I go feel boss person. I feel see boss. But exactly, how do we now change that narrative? Exactly.
So with this, I'll just say, changing it is, well, that's what Beach Harcourt is doing now, but it's just to make everywhere soft. You know, Port Harcourt is too hard. You know, it's too hard. So make it soft how by activities. So sometimes we go to the boat club, we play with jet skis. You understand? We have a lot of rich people out here. You know, they don't have boats. We don't have boats parked. We don't have people that jet skis, you know, with your fishing hooks and things like that. Start to do these things. You understand me? It doesn't have to be an event. You know, every weekend, something could be happening. You know, so I think that's one way as well. You understand me? To get everywhere soft. And investments, because investment breeds development.
Investment,
you know, especially, you know, at these waterfronts. You know, around Europe and around major cities around the world, you know, the waterfronts are the most prized locations. You know, but it's different here. Maybe because of, I would say, traditionally how it has been and everything. But I think right now we should, the government should start, you know, allocating waterfronts for how would I say, luxury development. And I think that's the way to go as well. You know, once the place is soft, everybody becomes soft. You don't need to be too violent. You understand me? Because when you find out that violence doesn't give you money, when the situation or the society where violence pays, obviously everyone wants to be violent because you want to get paid.
Yeah. You just nailed it there. Just nailed it there. So now, other than the fact that tourism is what you propagate, are there other hidden things you're trying to project through this movement?
Okay, so when you say other hidden things, I don't know exactly what you mean by hidden things, but we're pushing tourism. As I said, whether they like it or not, it must come. The government, they have no choice. once it's a movement, once people move there, the government has to move with you. Do you understand me? It's about the population. It's about what the people want. And the government has to go there. So hidden agenda, our hidden agenda is tourism must come. So if it's hidden, it's hidden. If it's not hidden, it's not hidden. The tourism must come. So that's it.
You're accommodating a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of young arts together, putting them into this movement. You're trying to make them understand why they should come up a movement. I think I like that part of what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
But other than all that you've been doing, I feel there's more that investors need to do.
Okay.
You can't do it all by yourself.
No, yeah. So what we're doing now is, even when we started Harcourt, a lot of people, well, some people like them, I think were just about events, just the lifestyle and all that. You understand me? But it goes deeper than that. It's about investments. Me, myself, I'm an investor. I understand return on investments. So one of the things we're in talks with the Andoni community to see how we can secure land for investors to come in, build Airbnb properties, hotels. The resort, they have a very long stretch. It's vast. These are things that we can now stand and talk to the government. Do you understand me? To give C of O to these investors, to prompt development. We can even go one further and tell government, look, see if you can build a airstrip in Andoni, so we can have people come in with their private jets. See, once you give people what they want, you'll be fed up of seeing them there. We can have the video and we can have the likes of Burna Boy, all of them. They'll fly into Andoni. You'll be shocked and you'll be surprised because it's a different location. You were giving them something different. And one thing again, Lagos has, in Nigeria, Lagos has collected that tourism space. But I'm saying that they haven't done enough. They don't even, look, when we're ready, and the Rivers Man, once we're ready to do something, we'll go all out. Exactly. So that's why I could see that there's going to be a tourism revolution. And when that comes, it will bring in money, investors, not just from inside the country, even from outside. Because investment opportunities, is just like you're cooking a meal. People can smell it from far, and they come in. And because of that, Harcourt Club, we're trying to set a Guinness World Record. And the reason why I want to do this world record, we want to bring attention to a particular community. In this case, it's going to be Andoni. Now, that attention is if you're outside the country and you Google Andoni, for instance, you're not going to see negative. You see that this is a community that has set a Guinness World Record. You understand me? So these are things that we're trying to do even before the investment comes. So somebody in the UK wants to buy a property, and they've been seeing this Andoni resort or what. And they Google, okay, let's know about the Andoni itself. You want to see something positive. That's why we do these events there. That's why I want to set this Guinness World Record there and everything. So those are things that would help aid investors as well. So what we're trying to do at Harcourt to stand as that bridge between the people, the investors, and the governments.
Congratulations on that very huge milestone. And, Eastern Showcase also bridged into real estates. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, Shival Shelters, we're here. We can always come in, buy this idea, make your dreams a reality, because that's what we're totally about. Now, let's talk about some of the fears and limitations people have, talking about tourism. A lot of people want to do, because trust me, I know there, like you said, when we want to do it, we go all out when we're ready. But there are many people that have been hindered due to many factors. As someone who has been experienced in this industry, you've been here for years and you've equally started yours. One thing I would take out is, while we're still waiting for the government to do, if you can't do, start. So what are some of those fears, and how do you think we can address those fears for someone who's watching, who wants to, go into this? How do they approach it?
I did to that.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone that we were going to Ndele,
Yeah.
who did the blue economy party. And, I was like, are you guys okay? And I won't go die. Like the mentality of everyone when it comes to such areas. there's a whole lot happening there, and it can't be secured for you guys to do.
Mm.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
So how do you make this happen? Because we went to England, it worked.
Mhm.
Everything went very well.
We've been to Okrika, we've been to town, we've been to Abloma, we've been to everywhere.
Everybody wants to go to because they believe it's very insecure there.
Yeah.
So how do you do this?
So as I said, first thing is community engagement. You understand me? That's one. But me as a person, I'm not really, a lot of things don't really scare me. So I'm going to talk to people. Who are they? The boys. You know, I'll talk to the boys, make them understand. Because at the end of the day, a lot of crime in the Niger Delta is fueled by poverty.
True.
So once you let the man know that, look, there's a way out from this poverty, do you understand me? Let him see that dream, that future. Draw something for him. Some people have no hope. Do you understand me? And a man that has no hope, obviously survival is strong. He needs to survive. So you let this man. I remember once when we went to the tourist, we went to do something in Tourist Beach then. So I went to town and I spoke to these boys and I showed them videos of we jet skiing and things like that. The guy just said, Baba, why you never come here since? Do you understand me?
Yeah.
I said, but people on the book let that phone. So he said, okay, our guy didn't make money. We don't busy the thief phone. When we 17, that's how we go the thief phone. We want to do something. And I said, okay, no problem. We'll come here. This was before, I think just before Landmark Beach, Africa. Yes, them and all that. So my point is, even them, they're not as bad as we think. Do you understand me?
Yes.
The society has failed a lot of people. Do you understand me? So in your own backyard, there's a big oil and gas company. But you can't get any job there because you need to go to Abuja to get certifications, or you go to Lagos, NAPIMS, that. So you want to set up an oil and gas company. Do you have 10 million just to start? You don't. But tourism, you can be in front of your house and just carve and do some drawings and people walk past and people buy. Do you understand me? So see how easy it is. So you let them understand these things. And it's not just the boys. Now you go to the kings, you go to the traditional rulers, make them understand. Then you have the people in the middle, the CDC and all the, you understand me? You talk to them as well. So once they understand, do you understand me? It's easy. Now, we're able to do this because we're not government. So when we come in, they're not too violent towards us. They want to listen to us. Do you understand me? I will tell them we feel your pain. In fact, we should even be consulting for the government because there are a lot of things that we've heard, feedback, that we can even help the government. Same thing that applies to companies. A company could come in, and once you come in, community will tell you, you pay this, you pay that, matching ground and all that. The two, because they will look at it like you want to come and make money from them. But we have been able to go to communities, we've established that relationship. So if a company is coming and say, these are our partners.
But are the government officials ready to listen?
Well, for now, I don't know, and I don't care for now. So first of all, have the investors involved, have the community, then the government must fall in place.
Let's talk, theft.
Okay.
In this whole investment, you see a place, you like it, you want to now establish something that can also benefit the government. You already mentioned an experience where you went to. They see these things, they like it. But trying to build it there, it becomes limiting because of the mindset they have. How can we curb these things?
So I don't know when you say like the government, what do you mean? Like, you're talking about a particular investment, the people. That's what I'm saying now. So the problem is now, you can't say outside me or outside our organization, Harcourt. Harcourt, I think we have a model that can work. We don't just go into a community and say we want to invest. We go into a community, we have parties, you feel the impact. Your local vendors, your canopies, your chairs, we hire, and we put you on the map. You see our magazines, you see your name on the social media, Kuru Town, what's it called, Ndele Beach and all that. So it makes them feel good. So after that, you can approach and say, look, we want to do this. We want to invest in your community. So we're at the forefront. Maybe some other organizations or companies could do it, but a lot of companies are not in the business of going to a community back and forth and all that. Normally they just want to go there. We've seen this location and we want to do this. Another thing again is when you don't have a proper relationship, who are you buying the land from?
Exactly.
Do you understand? Because that's another scare. A lot of people will tell you that they've bought land and there's dispute or we bought from the wrong people and all that. That's where you're talking to the head of the community, where you say this is what we want to do, and they can say, okay, we can allocate this land for this purpose. You're not buying from an individual, and even if you're going to buy from an individual, let it come from the hierarchy. They could now say, okay, this family owns this land, this family owns this land. In the presence of the traditional ruler, you do all your dealings and everything. So I think that's the way forward. But, however, the Harcourt, it's just because of the back and forth with the assembly and the governor, executives and all that. Else, we have bills that we want to sponsor.
Right.
Do you understand? Which address these things on how do you protect people's investments? Yeah. And how do you protect the community? For instance, let's say local host community. You could say, if there's a resort there, you could say 5% or 7% of the gate takings goes to the local community. If you have a car park there, you could say, okay, 20% goes to the local community. So what happens now? The community understands that the more people that come is the more money they make.
Exactly.
Do you understand me? And they're good. Other laws like 50% of your workforce must come from that local community. So you find out a company could come there and they have only 40%. And they're going around looking for people, begging people to come and work. Do you understand me? So imagine the employment you can generate. And once you do it in one community, other communities will start begging you to come to the community. Sure. And that's the way forward.
Sure. Thank you so much. You have truly said so much.
Dissect.
Exactly. This truly has been so insightful. Thank you. I
never expected it.
Honestly, I mean,
when I got Mr. Water, I said, Mr. Water, we're here. It's always in the we're here work.
Truly, we have learned so much about her.
Okay, another thing I want to pick on, right? This is like the second time you've been in Andoni for an event. Second time?
No. We've been about 5 times. 6 times, about 6 times. So this is our third anniversary. We're born on that beach. Yes, that's where the Harcourt Club started. And the way we started, I went to Andoni Beach, that's Equaltown Beach, just me and my cousin. I saw how lovely it was. I said, the next time I come here, I'll come with crowd.
You make something happen. So many people don't even think Harcourt or River State.
Yeah, so 2 months later, I set up a platform on WhatsApp, put about 300 people, and told them, look, we're going to Andoni Beach. 4 days, just 4 days before, and we all went down, had a good time. We came back. I said, okay, we've been there. I want to disband the group. Someone said, if you touch that group, I touch you. If you touch that group, I touch you. You can't take us there. Make us enjoy this and we won't go back again. So at that point, I was pressured. I had to give it a name. And that's when I gave it Beach Harcourt. And the reason I call it Beach Harcourt is because of a lot of people, when you say I'm going to the beach, they say Beach Day Port Harcourt.
Exactly.
I know you say Port Harcourt doesn't just mean Port Harcourt itself, metropolis. They're talking about Port Harcourt as in River State, since it's the one city state. Yes, so that's why. So it's like, this is Beach Harcourt. When they say, oh, Beach is there, I say, don't worry now. Go and watch our page. Exactly. Go and do this, or follow us to our next event.
I noticed this previous events, this one just finished right now. Yeah. That, a lot of investors came in. They are willing to do lots when it comes to the Andoni metropolis and the seashores, right? Yeah. So I don't know. Tell us about that a bit. What opportunities you have right now?
Well, we can't let the cat out of the bag right now, but we're working on something very, very big. Very, very big. We're working on something where we can be looking at over 200 plots of land for now on the beach itself. Do you understand me? So that's why I said there are a lot of investment opportunities for investors, to come in. We're talking with the government as well. As every day goes by, we get closer and closer to the government because of what we're doing. They see it. Sometimes when you have groups that come up, government look at you first. Is this not one of those groups they just set up to collect money? Do you understand me? So when they see how long you've been doing this consistently, then definitely they'll listen to you.
Thank you very much once again, Mr.
Okay.
It's truly been a very impactful and insightful conversation talking tourism, one of the world's most powerful and far-reaching industry. And we couldn't have found somebody else better to talk about this, really taking us deeply into the conversation.
You can't say Mr. Water.
Exactly, that's true.
I'm happy. No, Mr. Water, wait, I have one question for you. other than Beach Harcourt, who is Mr. Walter? Like, who is Beach Harcourt? Because no, wait. People don't ask me, this president just tourism. I don't understand. You don't get life outside tourism. There should have been something, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, after. So,
Yes.
let's get to
So I'm a normal person. The first part of my life, I grew up in the UK. So, but I've always loved nature anyway. And I had foster parents. I grew up with, from the age of from 2 to 5, I had foster parents, white parents, yeah. And we'd always go skiing, we'll go camping, a lot of outdoor stuff, so I grew up, that way. But apart from that, that wasn't it, because even my own parents, were from Africa, and they liked the outdoor stuff as well. So it wasn't just influenced by them. So I think both my biological parents and my foster parents, they had this outdoor stuff in them. So as early as I can remember, I'd always loved to, do things outdoor, do things differently as well. I'm someone who like to, if everyone's going this way, I'm going the other way. So I like to, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Yeah.
I can relate to that word. I'm crazy.
I like when people let their own passion,
see, I think with Mr. Walter, everything is possible. Everything works.
Yeah.
Don't tell him it doesn't work. He's one person that has actually made me understand that, guy, you can do this thing. You see, you run now. Right? So I think that part you've imbibed, not just us, not just me, rather. All of us. We are plenty, Abby.
Yes,
no,
plenty of us.
Plenty of us.
Oh, sorry, just was I had a meeting yesterday with the student union presidents and their DOS. A couple of them came, university students. So, so even the Beach Harcourt Club, we're having our Gen Z wing coming up. So kind of we have to catch them early, let them know what the tourism is from early, because we'll have the governors coming from there. We'll have senators coming from there. What better way of having these people immersed in tourism even before they get there? You don't need to preach to them. They know what it is. Yeah, so we have our Beach Harcourt Gen Z coming up very, very soon.
Thank you very much.
We can't wait for that. I can't wait for that.
Truly looking forward to it.
To be part of this. Those starts with that. Now, people mature. I'm not too mature that day. So now you have this coming up. I'm sure they'll be all excited to know that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been, I think, a very engaging moment, and of course, informative one as well, when it comes to tourism and all that it accommodates. Mr. Walter, like my co-host said, is the best person to deal with this particular topic. And believe you me, he has done a whole lot of justice to the student, right?
Yes. Well, you can leave your thoughts and what you learned from this conversation right in the comment section. My name is Augustine.
And of course, I'm VJ Fresh, the inimitable. They say I'll be the only kind in mankind. Can you deal with that?
And our wonderful guest today is the President, Beach Harcourt, Walter Abere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Well, you'll come again next time.